Excuse me, JT, that was something.
7, 6, 5. DeRozan at 4, 3. Good.
William Jackson. No one near him. Taking it the distance for the touchdown.
Out route. And Jackson just reads it and jumps Jordy Nelson's 10-yard out and just, wow.
Hello everybody, we're back again, episode 9. We're back every week, as per usual. We're a day late, as opposed to usual Wednesdays. It's a Thursday night. It's going to be Friday morning by the time we get it done. But we had to work late, and one of the guys, so Matt is not in studio, he's calling in, so he's with us still as well. Say hi, Matt.
Hey guys, what's going on? Hopefully this doesn't sound too bad.
But we're going to make it work. So that's how we're doing this week. It's been a busy week for all of us, so hopefully this turns out as good as possible, and we'll be back at it, all three of us back again next week. Big week in hockey. We were pretty much wrong about everything we talked about last week, so we'll correct ourselves. Yeah, except in that. We'll correct ourselves in this one. We'll run some questions through that you guys have, and then if we have any time, we'll talk some baseball and the Jays and their extremely surprising season. So, Darren, what do we got first? What are we gonna do here?
We're gonna do series so far, but we're gonna start with the worst series by far, which was Vegas versus the Kings.
Good.
So that's what we're gonna do first. LA, not good. Scored 3 goals in 4 games, and Vegas scored 9 in 4 games. So probably the most boring hockey you could ever hope for in the Stanley Cup Finals or playoffs, I guess. Yeah, not much to say. Vegas or Kings were missing a couple defensemen, but I don't think that changed the outcome of the series at all.
Other than the fact that I picked the Kings to go to the conference finals.
I also picked the Kings to go to the conference finals, and I'm never going to make the mistake again.
Wow.
And I'll touch on that later in the show.
Just a
All
horrible
right, well,
season.
I'd just like to say that I did pick Vegas to take the Kings out, so I was right on that. And to touch on what you said there with the Kings only scoring 3 goals, yeah, they're a defensive, physical hockey team, which we'll get to later. But I think you need to give some credit to Marc-Andre Fleury for the way he played. And also, with respect to Jonathan Quick, he had a really good series. His team just couldn't get the puck in the net in front of him.
Yeah, Jonathan Quick had a .955 save percentage in that series and never won a single game. So, just shows how much lack of offense LA has.
This is the first time this year that I'm going to say that Vegas is the real deal. I still didn't believe it.
Okay, well, let's just get this. I'll say this right now, that the Vegas Golden Knights either lose in 5 or 6 against the Sharks. They won't get swept, but they'll lose in 5 or 6.
I am not willing to make that because I've bet against them every time, and they proved me wrong. So I give up on betting against them. I give up.
You give up? You're going to take Vegas. Vegas opened, it's Vegas San Jose for the next round in case people didn't know, which they probably should. But anyways, this is going to be confusing what I'm going to say. Vegas betting odds have the Vegas Golden Knights as a bigger favorite versus the Sharks than they did against the Kings.
Really?
That makes no sense.
Exactly. They're basically what they're doing is hopping on the cash cow, basically.
Yeah, I just want people to bet money. I think that game goes more than 4, that's for sure.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Honestly, the playoffs have not been that good so far this year.
Well, that's why we're going in rankings. Well, my personal rankings of
well,
how good series have been. We're gonna go to the next worst series, which is ironically also a sweep and also over already. Anaheim, San Jose. San Jose absolutely mopped the floor with the Ducks. None of the games were close. It was just a domination from San Jose, like through and through. There's nothing else that can be said.
San Jose looks just as good as they did last year, if not better, I think.
I'm going to admit that I was wrong saying that Evander Kane wasn't going to make much of an impact. He has made a lot of impact on that team.
He's fit in perfectly with that team so far. Which is, I'm not going to say I didn't expect it, but I didn't expect it to be this good anyway.
I'm just really happy to see the Sharks beat the Ducks, especially in 4, because there's like maybe 3 players I actually like on the Anaheim Ducks, so I can care less.
I agree.
Yeah, Ducks not. They weren't very good defensively. You can tell from the highlights they just weren't very sound.
Mm-hmm.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but did Gibson not get hurt in the last game, or was that?
No, he just got pulled because he was very bad.
Yeah, he's just.
I thought he might have got hurt.
It's been a rough.
Yeah, Gibson.
Year for him.
Gibson is the answer to an upcoming question we have later coming on. The next best series, so the third worst series, in my opinion, is Pittsburgh-Philly. Honestly, didn't see it coming, becoming a bad series, but each game has been a blowout for either team. It's either Pittsburgh dominates or Philly dominates. It's not really had much in between. Pittsburgh looks good. I'm kind of scared about what they're going to do in the second round.
Yeah, I'm starting to get the three-peat vibe from the Pittsburgh Penguins. They are.
I don't think you see the Pittsburgh Penguins doing a three-peat, but they're definitely starting to look good, and I've heard a lot of people saying that they're kind of favoring them now, but I don't think they're going to probably make it into the next round.
Well, here's the thing. I'm cautiously optimistic for the Penguins because they haven't yet faced a goaltender who's not Brian Elliott or Peter Mrazek, so
true.
That's kind of my thoughts on the series on the Pittsburgh Penguins.
I mean, if they end up playing Columbus, is that who they end up playing?
Columbus or Washington?
Those are
both have good goaltenders.
Really good goaltenders, yeah. So I think we could see a problem there for them, but I still think I don't know. I don't see Washington moving on at all. I just don't see it. Columbus has just come out too strong to.
We'll talk about them later.
Yeah, we will. But I don't know. Something about them just I like. So.
Next best in my opinion, Tampa Bay, New Jersey. Yeah. Game's been close, surprisingly. I thought this was going to be a rout. Taylor Hall unassisted as the motto of the New Jersey Devils year, and I believe he scored 3 unassisted goals. If I'm not wrong, I'd have to look that up.
I don't know that stuff.
Anyways, Tampa's pretty much par for the course. Vasilevsky's been good. The series is 2-1 in favor of the Lightning.
3-1.
3-1?
3-1 Lightning. I think they probably win it in 5. I love New Jersey. They just aren't deep. They're just really not a deep team.
I think it's 2-1.
No, they won last night. Tampa won last night.
They didn't play that. Oh, they did.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's 3-1. I just don't see them. They're not deep enough. Tampa's really, really deep, and I don't think they're pushing at 6. Could be wrong. I've been wrong every series, so I'll probably be wrong again, but I don't see it.
Next best series, in my opinion, Winnipeg, Minnesota.
Yeah,
Thoughts?
that's been a crappy series.
You think that's a bad series?
I think it's been a bad series.
I've watched the games and I thought they've been really good.
Well,
there's lots of physical play. Winnipeg looks like the real deal as usual.
Well, yeah.
Another 3-1 series lead over on that side. Minnesota has stayed in there surprisingly. They've been resilient, but in the end, Dubnyk has given up a weak goal in every single game, so that's pretty much been the difference.
I don't know. Matt, go ahead. You have any comments on that series?
Well, I have a comment back on the Tampa and New Jersey series. Just the fact that Corey Schneider came in and stole that 1 win there. And also I did 2 wins. What?
1 win.
Yeah, 1 win. And I did call Tampa in 5, so just keep an eye out on that.
I know. We have your bracket right here because you left it here last week.
And your hat.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my hat's there too, sweet.
Yeah. I'll bring it to you on Saturday, bud. Don't worry.
All right. And the Winnipeg Minnesota series, it's not really a surprise. The Minnesota Wild aren't really a good hockey team. My boy Zach Parise is playing pretty well, in my opinion. But yeah, they'll be in 5 also, like I said.
Until he got hurt.
Yeah, until he got hurt.
Well, yeah, he was playing all right until he got hurt, but yeah.
It's broken sternum, so that's good.
That's ridiculous. Yeah.
A guy playing on a broken sternum for a shift, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, that would hit any body check. You would feel that. Third best series, in my opinion, Colorado-Nashville. Very surprised by my Avalanche, I'm not going to lie.
I'm surprised you got a win.
Really.
I'm really surprised you got a win.
Nashville's only outscoring us by 1 goal in the series, right?
Yes.
If you look at goals per series, it's I think it's 13-12.
I'm still surprised you guys got a win.
We've hung in
Nashville's
there.
so good.
We've hung in there a lot better.
No,
than
you
I
guys
thought
have done
we would.
well, but your one line is going to get tired.
You guys have my bracket right there. What did I say for that series? I think it was also
5 games.
You said, no,
Yeah.
yes, 5 games, sorry.
Yeah, okay. So I'll be right on that again. Man, I'm on fire.
Yeah, you are on fire. Wow.
Andrew Hammond. What I'm going to say about that series is Colorado's power play is losing them games. They are 1 for, I think, 19 in the series on the power play. Yeah, so that's the reason they're losing. That's pretty much it. The 5-on-5 play has been pretty much even, surprisingly, in my opinion. And Jonathan Bernier still can't stop anything, so...
Yeah.
And now it's the Hamburglers.
Now it's the Hamburger time. What's your next series? What's the second best series?
Matt was going to say something.
Oh, go ahead, Matt.
Oh, I was just going to say that the Avalanche might be playing the same as them right now, 5-on-5, but they're very much worse 5-on-5 team any other time.
Yeah.
They're nowhere near the skill level than the Nashville Predators, because the Nashville Predators are going to win the Stanley Cup.
I'm kind of skeptical on my pick of Nashville winning the Stanley Cup based on this series. They have not looked very good.
Yeah.
They take a lot of penalties. Like, they've taken 20 penalties in 5 games. Or not even 5 games, 4 games. That's quite a hefty margin.
The one thing I'm noticing with the officiating is it's one or the other.
It's very inconsistent, I find, this year.
It's very... If there's a penalty called, there's going to be a lot. And if there's not... there was 1 penalty in the Leaf game tonight. Which we're down 3-1, by the way. Which
is, since we're talking about that, that's the number 2 series. The second best series to watch, in my opinion. Just a lot of speed going on in that series, which I love to watch. Matthews has been a ghost. Thoughts?
He hasn't been a ghost. He's just been shut down well. Like, they kept him to the outside. Who's been a ghost is William Nylander. He's been a ghost. And I tweeted about that tonight. He's just been completely irrelevant to the series. And I don't know if that's because of, line matching or the switching up of the offense. Could be any of the above, but he's been not good. And actually, that's kind of a good thing almost, because we're going to lose the series probably. At least it'll make the contract a little lower this time. So, silver linings playbook.
I don't want to talk about this series.
Before we jump on, I want Brendan to give his insight on who he believes is the Leafs' best player. He told Terrence the other day.
Who the Leafs' best player is?
Yes.
That would be Mitch Marner.
Elaborate.
He's the most exciting to watch. I'm not saying he's the best. He's the most entertaining, I think. And I think he's the most... Sorry, I'll change my word. He's the most electrifying player. He's the player that can change the pace of a series, which he has been doing. He has 6 points in 4 games now. So
how did you like when he got crunched out of the boards and Dad Hainsey came in and decided to throw the mitts down? I thought that was pretty funny.
That was good.
Dad Hainsey.
Ron Hainsey
Papa
cannot
Ron.
fight.
Papa Ron. But if you didn't see tonight, he also got just muscled around by Marchand in the corner for no reason.
Oh yeah, I did see that.
It was a joke. He's literally in the corner battling for a puck, and Marchand comes in, not even looking at the puck, and just grabs Mitch's helmet and throws it on, pushes him to the ground twice, banging his head off the ice. For no reason. Like, the guy's an absolute joke, and that's another story. I don't even want to rant about him right now. 'Cause
I mean, we could get on that if you want to, because I'm actually on the opposition to that. I absolutely love Brad Marchand.
I think you need to, and then I'm going to hang up on you.
I think he's an absolutely great hockey player. He's got an incredible skill set.
Yeah.
He's a guy that I want him on my team. If I had a chance to sign him and I'm the Leafs, I'd do it.
No.
But to play against him, yeah, I understand why people hate him, but I love him.
He's a joke.
He's not a joke at all. He's probably better than half the league.
I'm not saying, yeah, he's really good, but he's a joke of a person.
I mean,
He's just a joke.
Did you read his Players Tribune article?
I just pulled that up right now, but I don't want to
I haven't read it yet.
I won't even read it.
Apparently it's supposed to change your perspective on Brad Marchand, but I don't think it will.
It won't, so I don't care.
I have a great perspective of Brad Marchand, so I don't even need to read it.
No, I won't read it. I can't stand the guy. Great hockey player. I love him when he's playing for Team Canada and whoever else, but I could not care less about him as a Leafs. He sucks. He sucks. He doesn't suck. He just sucks as a
And on that note, the
person.
number one series to watch, in my opinion, we've got Washington-Columbus. 3 out of 4 games, the fourth one being tonight to not go to overtime. Series is tied 2-2. Very close games each time. I also believe Washington could easily have won all 4 of those games, and I also believe that Columbus could have won 3 of those 4 games. But Washington's very good when when Barry Trotz is not putting in useless plugs over Jakub Vrana.
True.
And Obi's getting it done again in the playoffs, which is par for the course.
He's it's a wasted talent in Alex Ovechkin. It's a wasted talent.
It's not his fault.
No, it's not his fault. That's exactly right.
They're actually getting depth scoring this year, like Kuznetsov scoring unlike he was last year. Tom Wilson's got a few goals. TJ Oshie's shown up, like I said, was a key to win this series.
That's true.
And remember I said that he was going to show up? Man, I'm actually on fire.
The thing I didn't like was I did not like leaving Grubauer in for the second game. After the first game, I thought they should have moved on to Holtby. He's your he's your money maker. He's got the big contract. You live and die by him. I thought he should have went in after 2 games, and I think we're after the first game, and I think they should have a 3-1 lead right now. But that's my opinion. Also, Panarin is nasty. He is easily the best Columbus player by far.
Yep.
And that's all I want to say about Columbus. Bob has also been very good.
He is that 54 save night was ridiculous. I don't care if he gave up 4 goals. That's ridiculous.
He's
And I'm not also...
He didn't give up 4 goals. He gave up 2.
No, it was 54 and he had 58 shots. They won 5-4 that game. In overtime.
I'm gonna look at the wrong
Just
one.
because I'm still on fire, so I just wanted to add while it's in my head here that I also said that the Washington Capitals should go to Holtby to start the series, not let alone start Grubauer in 1 game. So, I mean, why am I not coaching right now?
Just fire it right up. Columbus, I think Columbus makes it through though. And then some major changes are coming in Washington.
I called this as soon as Washington won their first game. I said Washington in 6 as soon as they won their first game.
That's
Washington,
aggressive.
once they got over the we're in trouble hump, I think it's game over for Columbus. They got outplayed again wildly tonight. They got outshot 33-24 and outslot-shotted 15-3. So, yeah. I think it's curtains for Columbus, but again, what do I know?
But they're leading the series.
No, it's tied.
Oh, right. Sorry,
2-2.
2-2.
They won tonight.
Right, I didn't pay attention to that game. Tomorrow's games. Philly-Pittsburgh. Useless. Pittsburgh's going to win.
Jets, Winnipeg.
Winnipeg's going to win. Colorado-Nashville.
I think realistically all 3 of those series are done by tomorrow.
Yeah.
I think
the first round of playoffs has sucked.
Yeah, we'll get to that in winners and losers because I got some losers. Anyways, I think we might get stuck with a Columbus-Washington once all the series are done. That'll be the only one left.
Yeah. I don't know. If the Leafs can maybe squeak one more out, I'll be happy.
Yeah, if Colorado can go to Nashville and win, I think that's going to be very good. But it's Andrew Hammond, so I'm not expecting to.
I expected Boston in 6. I picked Leafs in 7. If the Leafs go 6 games and lose, I'm happy. Like, not happy, but I'm par for the course, I guess. We'll go with it.
All right, want to do winners and losers?
Yeah.
Week 1 of the playoffs. We'll start with winners. Who do you got?
Player-wise or team-wise?
Doesn't matter. Any winners.
David
winner.
David Pasternak is a winner.
Had 2 more points tonight.
He's won the Conn Smythe. Congratulations.
In one series.
Congratulations, David. You've won the Conn Smythe trophy. Another winner, the Vegas Golden Knights, proving everybody wrong. Again. Forever Vegas. Viva la Vegas. Viva Las Vegas, I guess. Final winner, Sidney Crosby and the Pittsburgh Penguins. They always get it done. People were still doubting them. Everyone was doubting them still, and I don't know why. I even doubted them. I'll be honest, I doubted them a bit. But they're winners in my books too. And Colorado for winning 1 game.
Wow. Who you got, Matt?
Okay, so a winner for me is Marc-Andre Fleury with the Vegas Golden Knights. He got shit on. He got pushed out of his starting role in Pittsburgh by Matt Murray, which, I mean, Matt Murray's a great goalie. I understand that. But I feel like Fleury's maybe resurrected his career, proving that he isn't that goalie that always loses in the playoffs like he was for so long with Pittsburgh. I think another winner is actually Jonathan Quick. He played unbelievable, and even though they lost, I think he got a lot of respect. I'm not a Jonathan Quick fan, and I really don't. I didn't like him, but I do have a new level of respect for him. Mm-hmm. And a massive. I turned it from winner and loser to a massive loser is Drew Doughty, because I'd like to quote him on saying that the Vegas Golden Knights are nowhere near a better team than them. Well, have fun golfing and feeling the wind blowing through that nice long hair on the golf course on that backstroke, buddy.
Very true.
Just to go back earlier in the season, Drew Doughty did also say he wanted to play for a contender in his career, so I kind of feel like he does not want to be in LA anymore.
Hello, Toronto. Hello, Toronto.
Good luck affording
I wouldn't even.
Oh, we will. We'll afford him, because Nylander's going to make like $5 million this offseason for the next 6-7 years. So that's good.
My winners. Winner number 1 is the Boston Bruins. Good job going out and actually showing up, which was kind of iffy, if you might. Another winner, Artemi Panarin. He's showing the world what he can. He didn't need Patrick Kane or Artem Anisimov. He didn't need those guys. He can do it by himself, and he's proving it in this series. Another winner I have is the Colorado Avalanche. No. No, the Colorado Avalanche. You've hung in there a lot better than I expected you to. Youngest team in the NHL. Backup goalie missing your best defenseman. Good job, boys. Losers. I want to do my losers first because I got a whale of them. Loser number 1 is the Bucci Overtime Challenge. We've only had 4 in the first round of the playoffs, and 3 of them have been with the same games, same teams. Sorry. We need more overtimes. I'm lacking on my overtime adrenaline rush. Another loser, offensive heavy or defensive Another loser is offensive hockey from the LA Kings and the Anaheim Ducks. We have a segment on this later, but I wanted to bring it up right now because I hate this style of hockey. Hard, heavy defensive hockey does not work anymore. It's embarrassing to watch, it's boring to watch, and I hate it. And my last loser is Philadelphia, because you have no goaltending and it's been horrible to watch. I cringe every time a shot goes on Brian Elliott because it feels like it might just bounce through his 5-hole at any given moment.
He is not a good goalie at all.
Losers.
The Toronto Maple Leafs, Mike Babcock specifically. I'm not losing faith in Mike. You're the man, Mike, but you make some weird decisions, my man. Yeah, I don't know. But I guess the Thomas McCann thing worked out, but I'm still sick and tired of you not letting the boys go loose. Your system doesn't work. It works to an extent, but it doesn't work in the playoff format. I'm sick and tired of this play functional. This team is not built for the playoffs. This team is built for the playoffs if you let them loose. Let Marner do his thing. Let Matthews go roam free. Let Morgan Riley pinch. Let Jake Gardner pinch in. They're not defensive defensemen. I'm sick and tired of it. My second loser is the LA Kings for being a joke. Just an overall joke.
Combined the last two playoffs combined, joke. The Chicago Blackhawks and LA Kings scored 6 goals in the last 2 playoffs combined.
What a joke. The whole team, good for you. You made the playoffs. Happy 4 games. I'm never, ever betting.
That's not even 4 games. That's 15 periods of hockey.
Yeah.
3 goals because they had a double overtime and another overtime period.
Right. It's a joke. They're a joke. It's a complete joke. And also, and my final loser is the NHL for this stupid format. Let's not reseed the second round games. Let's not do that at all. Let's have a Nashville-Winnipeg second round game. Let's do that. Please, that sounds fun. Let's have the 2 best teams in the NHL face off against each other in the second round. Let's have Boston and Toronto play each other, the 6th and 3rd best team in the league, the entire league. Let's have that happen in the first round. I'm sick of it.
Agreed.
Matt?
I already said my biggest loser was Drew Doughty because he's a joke. Another loser would be Corey Perry of the Anaheim Ducks because I don't like you and you are terrible at hockey and you were literally nowhere to be seen in the series. What a surprise. And I guess another loser would be, like you said, the Leafs offense because you've got 4 lines that you should be able to roll that can score, and for some reason you just aren't.
I'm going to introduce a segment. It's going to be a weekly segment. It's the Idioso of the week. The complete idiot of the week. Any sport. We're going to have votes on Twitter. Just put your input of who you think the Idioso of the week is.
I got a nomination.
I have
the
nomination
LA Kings Twitter guy for chirping on Twitter about the San Jose Sharks not having a cup yet. It's kind of hard to hear your chirps when you're already eliminated in 4 games.
It's true. I have the winner of the Idioso Award of the week. Matt, do you want another nomination? It's not going to matter, but I have the winner. Go ahead.
Do I have a nomination? The Idiot of the Week goes to Nick Campbell for thinking that defensive hockey teams are going to make it past the first round.
No, that's fair. My Idiot of the Week, mentioned already today, Brad Marchand is the Idiot of the Week.
Oh, okay. No, you're not.
He's the Idiot of the Week. I don't care if he's a good hockey player. He's the Idiot of the Week. He's dirty.
What do I feel like Brad Marchand's going to be an Idiot of the Week every week?
No. I don't. It's a one-time thing. He can't be multiple-time winner. He should have a 20-game suspension under his belt by now, and I'm sick of it. He's a joke. He's the reason that there are so many concussions, and he's not the reason. He's one of the main reasons. All these hits that George Paris wants to take out of the league. Oh, we're going to suspend Cadder. We're going to sewer the Leafs because he hit a guy in the head. Tommy Wingle's a 4th-line joke. What about Brad Marchand, who hits people in the head every shift? He swung his stick around when, who was it? Was it Hyman or
Riley
that dumped him? And as he's going down, he swings his stick around, probably quote unquote unintentionally because of balance, to try and knock his head clean off its shoulders. He's a joke. He's the Idioso of the week. That's a new segment.
By Delicioso.
Delicioso.
Next, we're going to talk about why defensive hockey doesn't work and why attacking hockey is literally much better. I'm going to take a quote from Tyler Mataraz of the NHL Network Radio. He says, "The Devils, the Avalanche, and the Knights, they found a better way to play the game. Other teams simply haven't adjusted. You need to have 4 lines that can attack and create. The old theory of the third line checking role and a 4th line energy line doesn't work anymore." And he gives an example. LA had to play Kopitar 25 minutes in Game 5. Literally 8 or 9 minutes more than Kopitar would literally normally play.
Mm-hmm.
And because LA or the Golden Knights' 4th line and 3rd line were just causing problems, he got tired. He was on the ice for the only goal of the series, or the only goal of the final game, and it cost them. You need to have 4 attacking lines in today's NHL.
The way I see it, I agree with you completely. I used to be an even balance kind of guy, so I like the 2 skill lines, the 2 energy checking lines. That's changed this year. I love the Leafs. We have what I like to say 4 energy lines, and not energy lines that go out, work hard, go back to the bench and do nothing. That's what energy lines are technically for. It's offensive energy lines, and it's lines that can produce. You don't want. I kind of like Babcock's way of thinking of. There isn't a 1, 2, 3, and 4th line. It's you have 4 lines that can all contribute offensively, and I think if you have 4 lines that contribute offensively, I mean the Leafs' downfall is obviously defense. That's just another topic. But if you have 4 lines comparable, like with the Leafs, Tampa Bay, the Jets, the Golden Knights, Nashville, like 4 line. Well, Nashville doesn't necessarily have that; they have good defense too. But 4 contributing lines that can contribute offensively against any other line that's opposing them, you're going to be successful. So I mean, it's not the heavy checking. That's why Matt Martin doesn't play anymore. He has 3 years left on his deal.
Mm-hmm.
That's why there aren't any enforcers in the league besides who's the guy in Florida?
Ryan Reeves, Michael Haley.
Mike Haley. But those are 2 teams that don't have those lines. Vega, I guess. But Ryan Reeves is actually kind of productive a little bit.
He can skate.
He can skate,
thing.
yeah.
If you can skate, you're in the NHL.
Yeah, if you can skate, you're fine. But other than that, yeah, you got to have lines that can produce. You don't need any pylons. Matthew?
So before I say anything about this, because my view's a little bit different, I want anybody who has Netflix to watch Guardians on Ice.
Yeah, I gotta watch that actually.
Because it's incredible and it'll kind of change the way you see that style of hockey. I grew up watching the 3rd line and the 4th line energy lines with Pittsburgh Penguins winning the Cup in 2010 with Talbot and all those kind of guys. Matt Cook. I really like that style of hockey, and I think it's exciting to watch. I know Darren really hates it, but I don't think he appreciates that style of play the way that I do myself. Although the way the NHL it is changing now, and I think that's a great thing. The offense is coming out. People love seeing goals. I'd rather watch a 6-5 game than a 1-0 game. So I like that the NHL is switching that way, and I think it's proven that it obviously doesn't work. Like, look at the Kings and the Ducks, like we've already said 3 times. They're both brutal. They can't even put the puck in the back of the net. So you need to roll a team like the Leafs or the Avalanche that have guys on every single line that can play at a high speed and can produce no matter what.
I guess the other thing, too, is, a lot of people put a lot of, and, still GMs, I think once, there's a lot of old GMs in the league.
Mm-hmm.
To play the old style of hockey. And I think as soon as we can get away from that and have younger guys come in and understand the analytics side of the game and everything, size is fine if that size brings skill. So you got guys of size like Evgeny Malkin, Austin Matthews,
Patrick Laine.
None of them Ovechkin. They're all big guys.
They don't play a heavy game.
But they don't play a heavy game.
Except for Ovechkin.
But
he's hits.
But he's still skilled. You don't have to be big anymore in the NHL. It's a young man's speed NHL. So guys like Johnny Gaudreau, Mitch Marner,
Sam Girard.
Small guys
Tyson Barrie
that can contribute. You don't need to be big. You got to be elusive.
Alex DeBrincat
is a great example. Matt Barzal isn't big.
He's 6 foot, but
but he's not.
like
but he's
170.
not. Yeah, exactly.
Also, a guy that comes to mind is Brad Marchand.
Yeah,
Brad Marchand.
5'9".
Yeah, very tiny, idiot, idioso of the week. Anyway,
if I was a coach, you need 4 lines, 2 of which that will start in the offensive zone every single time. So basically 2 high-powered offensive lines, and you need 2, I don't want to say defensive lines, but 2 lines that start in the defensive zone, and their job is to get to the offensive zone and create chances.
What you need is the bottom 6 to be all guys that are capable of scoring 20 to 25 goals a year.
That's aggressive.
That's aggressive, yeah.
But they can be capable. Doesn't mean they're going to.
Yes.
That's what I mean.
Just to add to that, the way the NHL is now is you need your bottom guys to do something. Playing well in your own zone means nothing if you can't get it out of your own zone.
True.
If you play well in your own zone for 60 minutes, you're still giving up 2 or 3 goals. That's just how it is in the NHL. Everybody's too good to play in your own zone for over half the game. You need to be in the offensive zone. Playing well in defensive zone doesn't mean anything if you can't get the puck out. And another thing, defense. The first part of defense is getting the puck. The second part is getting the puck to a forward who can make a play with it. That's why people like Brooks Orpik, I can't think of anybody else. Another example. Mark Method, people who are good at stripping pucks and getting away aren't good in today's NHL because once they get it away, what do they do with it? 1, they either ice it. 2, they miss a pass and turn it over. Or 3, they just turn it over behind their net. I don't understand why people think that this is a good idea, that defense is just getting the puck away. That's only step 1. There's so many other steps that go into playing defense, and it sickens me literally to the core to think that there's people out here that think that defense is very important in hockey. It's important. It's not as important as everybody thinks. Offense, defense will win you games, but they won't win you championships in today's NHL. You need to score a lot of goals to win in the NHL.
The problem, and I'm just going to play devil's advocate, I don't agree with this, but I'm just going to play it just because for the other people who think this. The analytics side, and it's the lighter analytics side of tonight's Leaf game, the Leafs lost 3-1. The Leafs had 32 shots, Boston had 21. Toronto won 63% of the face-offs. Boston out-hit them 40-26.
Which means they don't have the puck.
And they had 27 blocks, and Toronto had 9. And a lot of people may think, oh, they blocked shots, they hit, they laid the body, they win the games. Boston isn't going to win games with 21 shots on goal. They're not going to. And, I mean, they beat the Leafs tonight. That's because I think Boston's just a better team. And they just outplay. And the ones they scored on, the 3 goals they scored on, the first one was weak. The other 2, no chance. It was just a good chance. We got walked. Polak looked like an idiot when he was sliding across when clearly Anderson is taking the shooter. Clearly. And you have to know that with a goalie. But it's just, I don't know, one of those things where it's just that, I guess.
Just more on tonight's Leafs-Bruins game. If you don't follow It's at PNT Hockey. It's called The Point. They're kind of like an analytics, metric analytics type of thing. So they track ozone, possession, shots on goal, scoring chances, and what my most important stat is, slot shots. And although the Leafs outshot the Bruins 32-21, the Leafs only had 5 more scoring chances than the Bruins and only 3 more slot shots.
But you need to capitalize on those scoring chances.
Yes.
And Marner, the Mar-Plek-Mar line, I guess, was...
Don't try to name it.
Well, Mar-Tad-Mar is usually what it's called, but we're going Mar-Plek-Mar. It was moving really well tonight, and a couple of those chances I thought that Marleau should have buried. He didn't, and hindsight is 20/90. But anyway, you got to capitalize on scoring chances in the NHL, and if you have guys that can do that, it's more than the guys like the Roman Polaks, that big man block shot hit player.
Yeah, block shots lose you games.
It does.
That's my opinion, but I think it's true. If you're blocking shots, you're deflecting a lot more pucks into your net than you're saving goals. In my opinion, if you're blocking that many shots,
I think.
Look at Chris Russell.
I think Ian LaPerriere might dispute you on that when he blocked that with his eyeball.
Well, if it's partially blocked, I think if you can fully block it, do it. If you're only gonna partially block it, get out of the way.
There should be a stat for partially blocked shots.
I bet you Chris Russell would leave that. I bet you Francois Beauchemin would leave that one. I've never seen anybody tip so many pucks into his own net.
Alright, let's move on.
Alright, I'm a little heated. Questions. Viewer questions.
Do we have viewer questions?
I got one from Nick.
Alright, Matt, do you have any to schedule up there too?
Yeah, I do have a few, yeah.
Alright, I'll queue up Nick's question. Which goalie has underperformed the most in the playoffs this year?
Frederik Andersen.
Did you say underperform?
Yeah.
Underperform. Who's been bad?
I don't know that you can say Frederik Andersen's been bad. The only reason the Leafs have even won a single game was because Frederik Andersen literally stole them a win.
Okay, but he has an over 4 goals against average and an under 9 save percentage.
Yeah, but I want you to look at his defense.
It's under 890.
His defense?
No,
You mean his save percentage? Anyways, my goaltender is very obviously John Gibson. About to call him Chris Gibson there for a second.
Chris Gibson.
Playing on the island. No, John Gibson. I believe he let in at least 5 goals every single game. Just wasn't good. There's a video on Reddit that he got beat with the exact same move 3 times in 3 games. It was a 2-on-1. They take it on the forehand and they simply go backhand. The exact same move 3 times and he scored. It was quite comical to watch, actually.
My underperformer is going to be Austin Matthews. I understand you're being shut down by some of the best in the league, but I mean, you're supposed to be one of the best in the league. So find a way to work it out and make it work.
However,
I made a post on Facebook.
Matt, the question was
goaltenders.
What? All I heard was underperformers. Sorry, it's hard for me to hear you guys.
That's okay. So that's my bad.
Which goaltender was underperforming?
But thanks for throwing Matt Austin under the bus.
I just threw Austin Matthews under the bus. I still don't feel bad about it.
I called him a ghost earlier tonight.
Yeah, whatever. I guess.
I guess my underperformer in goalie would be Devin Dubnyk because I said he'd steal a game or 2, and he hasn't. I thought he'd be better, and he's let in some pretty weak goals that he should be making stops on. You're an NHL goalie, get your head in your rear end.
I agree with all those picks.
All right.
You got a question, Matt?
Yeah, I do. They're from Kale Palmatier, as per usual, every week. We can count on this guy. Let me open my phone here, sorry. Okay, so the number one question is a question I really like. Since there's not really any enforcers like, for example, Colton Orr, George Peros, Mike Brown, etc. in the NHL anymore, is a guy like Wayne Simmons who can score, fight, and hit the new type NHL enforcer?
I guess, sort of. More like Brad Marchand.
I wouldn't say so necessarily.
Okay.
So people like Wayne Simmons and Gabe Landeskog, they throw down the mitts when they feel like their team needs a spark. Enforcers didn't really do that. They were more, hey, let's just fight so there's a fake spark.
No, that's not
basically
even true,
what.
Darren, at all. That's not even true. The reason enforcers fought was because they wanted to protect their teammates, and if you were going after a guy, for example, Wayne Gretzky, back in the day, and you're playing against Wayne Gretzky, you're not going to go after him because you know if you do, you're going to get your face punched in. So there's a reason why enforcers fought, and maybe it was to provide a spark sometimes, but for most of the time, they're trying to send a message and protect the star players. I love enforcers.
I don't know what I think about this, to be honest. I guess he's the closest. I don't really believe in. I don't believe in enforcers anymore. I like what they did, but I don't believe that they really have a spot in the NHL anymore. And that's not my opinion because I want it to be that way. I just don't really think that they have that. It's a league where why get rid of a skill position to put in a guy that just is there to throw hands? Why?
Because people like watching fights, and
People like that, but it doesn't help you win games.
That's debatable.
Well, I'm not up to debate that either. It's just that if you have a guy that can score 20, let's go even lower end. Like a guy that can score 10 goals and create offense as opposed to a guy like
Andreas Martinson versus Matt Martin.
Exactly. I don't know who's who there, but
here's what I think. I think today's players are all big enough and strong enough that they can defend themselves. And there's still a guy on every team who's not afraid to fight somebody. Like on Colorado's Gabe Landeskog, on Toronto you got Leo Komarov, on Pittsburgh Kadri. Pittsburgh you got Patrick Hornquist. Nashville Austin Watson.
Cal Clutterbuck I think is today's enforcer.
Yeah, Cal Clutterbuck is today's enforcer. He can score He can score 10 goals. He can pitch in some offense, but he can still still hold his own.
I just think that Wayne Simmons is worth more than new age enforcer.
Yeah, Wayne Simmons is a prototypical power forward in my opinion.
Yeah,
I wouldn't call him an enforcer.
Yeah, I think he's better than what that title gives him.
Okay. So the other question that I got was the Josh Morrissey 1-game suspension the correct call?
Yes.
I guess. I don't know.
I honestly think he was trying to cross-check his shoulder just to box out, but he missed a little high and hit him in the head. I think it's fair. I'm not really debating that one. I think it was clear-cut that it was going to be one game and that was it.
I think it was fair, although I don't think it matters because Eric Stahl's helmet's the size of my apartment, so I mean, it's not like it hurt him, so...
That's fair. Yeah, he's got the same as out.
I think that's probably the only time I've ever agreed with player safety before, so
yeah.
Take that as you will.
I just think there needs to be some consistency with the way things are called, but I mean, yeah, it's probably the right call. I agree.
They missed it on the ice, so I think they had to give him a...
Terrence had a question too, but I don't remember what it was, and I can't access it on the Instagram page.
I also don't have the Instagram page.
Originally it was about Kucherov, and then it was, I don't know. Well, sorry, man.
Do you have any more, Matt?
Not a question, but I would like to state for anybody that follows our Twitter that I no longer have to get the Boston Bruins tattoo on my butt.
Because they won a game.
That's very true.
But little did you guys know that if I didn't have to get that tattooed on my butt, a week later I was going to go back and get that little guy you see on the back of people's cars where he's like a big grin and he's peeing on his
That would have been good.
So there's going to be a Leafs jersey on a guy taking a leak on the Bruins. So I was actually okay if we did get swept, but I'm glad we didn't.
Me too. I'm really glad. At least we have that going for us.
T-Man texts me back right away, surprisingly. He usually doesn't do that.
No.
Anyways, it was not about Kucherov. It was why didn't John Klingberg get nominated for a Norris Trophy?
Right, that was the question. So for those of you that don't know, I have the winner, like not the winner, so the candidates.
The nominees.
Right in front of my two eyes.
I believe it's PK Subban, Victor Hedman, and I don't remember the third guy.
Drew Doughty, that's right.
Oh my god.
First of all, Drew Doughty
should not be there.
It should be John Klingberg. I also am kind of surprised John Carlson isn't there either, with his 65 points. That's kind of debatable.
I believe we all said last week that Victor Hedman was hands down Norris Trophy.
He is the Norris Trophy winner. He should be. I mean, I'm kind of glad PK Subban's in there. He had a pretty good year.
People forget PK.
The reason why Drew Doughty's in there is over Klingberg is because even though they were a joke, the Kings did make the playoffs.
That doesn't
that to me is the only reason why Doughty makes it in over Klingberg. Even though it shouldn't matter, it does.
I don't think it matters, honestly. I think if Oliver Ekman-Larsson put up 65 points, I think he'd be on it.
I don't know about that.
I don't know about that because John Carlson's not on there and he put up 65 points.
Yeah, the top 4 scorers, defensive scorers in the NHL didn't get nominated. John Carlson, Brett Burns, Shane Gostisbehere, and John Klingberg did not get nominated.
Why? Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
I saw all to beat is Shane Gostisbehere. I didn't know he had like 65 points.
I didn't either. So. I think Victor
that.
Hedman in a very landslide of a vote.
Yeah, I think it's going to be Victor Hedman. But,
I think PK Subban finished second, though.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't think so. I think it's going to be Drew Doughty because the hockey writers will love him for some reason.
I love him too, but I just think...
PK Subban has a Norris Trophy already. Not many remember that.
Yeah, back in the Lockett season.
Good for him.
Yeah, good for you. And he got traded. Stupid. Montreal's stupid. Any questions? Do you have any questions?
Do you have any?
I don't have any, I don't think, actually.
Alright, I guess we're moving on. Oh.
Oh.
No, I was sorry. I was just going to say that, I have no more questions. I gave you mine already.
Okay. Baseball.
Some baseball news.
The Jays are good.
The Jays are good. Surprising. I'm going to pull up the MLB on the score just for reference of things.
They lost tonight, unfortunately.
The Jays did lose. They snapped a 4-game losing streak.
What? They
snapped a 4-game winning streak. Is what I say. I don't know what did I say there.
You snapped a 4-game losing streak.
Good.
I don't even think we have 4 losses.
I meant winning streak. Boston is 15-2, which is crazy. They have a 3.5 lead. The 3.5 game lead on the Jays.
Are the Mets still very good?
The Mets are still very
13-5.
Yeah,
but
it's crazy. Baltimore's already 11 games back in the division. 11 games.
Didn't you say Tampa was also 11 games back?
Yeah, Tampa's 10.5. That's insane.
I want to talk about the Chicago White Sox game.
Which one was that?
The one in the freezing cold weather.
Yeah, the 14 innings.
Yes. No, not that one.
Not that one. With the attendance.
Yes.
The attendance under 1,000 people. The White Sox played a game last week, I think it was, and the game was hovering around 0 degrees Celsius.
An afternoon game in the middle of the week.
Yeah, in the middle of the week, and they had what was it?
568.
Yeah, and only how many came in?
They had 10,000 people buy
10,000 buy tickets, but only
568 came in.
That's crazy.
There's more people at junior A hockey games than at this MLB game.
I can't even. Can you imagine walking out on the field and seeing nobody? But could you imagine going to that game, being able to sit directly behind the plate because nobody cares?
I can barely watch the Chicago White Sox on TV. In person, so it doesn't really surprise
the only reason you watch the Chicago White Sox is to hear the announcers say, "You can put it on the board."
Yes. Yeah, they're 4-11. They're not a good baseball team.
But Kansas is even worse. They're not even last in the division.
Cincinnati's 3-15.
So is Kansas.
They're 3-13.
3-13.
Man, those teams have already.
There's a lot of bad teams.
There's a lot of bad baseball teams.
Even though we're early in the season, I'd like to put in again another thing I was right on. I am literally killing it lately. Is the fact that the Jays were going to be better than the Orioles and the Rays, and I've been proving to both be terrible. So
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
you're right, you're right.
me and you both expected Tampa and Baltimore to be horrible.
I
but
expect them to be bad too. I just didn't think that it'd be that big of a difference. I still don't know if it's gonna be that big of a difference, but I think it is for now.
yeah.
I don't know.
Shion Ohtani?
Shohei Ohtani proved us all wrong of being mediocre baseball player, and turned out to be unbelievable.
Great pitcher.
Like
Can hit.
unbelievable.
If you watch a video of his home run swings, he's got the fastest hips I've ever seen.
Yeah, he does.
He turns on that ball in a hurry.
Also pitching. Now again, the game against the Red Sox, he was pretty bad, but he left the game early with a blister. So hopefully that doesn't, cause more problems.
Derail a season. Cough, cough. Aaron Sanchez.
Hopefully he'll still be able to hit though. But that's the kind of thing with him too. Is if he's unable to pitch, he'll still be a hitter. Like he'll still hit. He'll be a DH. Some surprise seasons so far from Jed Lowry. He has 6 home runs already. Batting 346.
Does he even have 6 home runs in his career?
Yeah, he had 19 last year. Joey Gallows has more career home runs than singles.
Yes, he does.
57 home runs and 51 singles in his career. I can't even fathom that. That's like his batting average is so low. He hits a home run more than he hits a single.
He's got power.
So you already touched on it, Tucker, but I wanted to bring it up. Aaron Sanchez and the Marcus Stroman. Do you want to touch on that? You want to talk about that a little bit?
We can talk on that in a bit. I don't know if you guys saw my tweet. You can check it out if you want. I did a little bit of a rant. Some things kind of bother me with Marcus Stroman, and he hasn't been very good this year either so far. So I mean,
he's got an 8 ERA.
Yeah, he's been really really bad.
A 2 WHIP, which is walks or hits
horrible.
4 innings pitched.
And you want to keep that under 1.2 usually. But anyway, so my tweet that I put out here, I'm just gonna find it so I don't unreference myself.
He's got a positive WAR somehow.
Yeah, whatever. So I'll just go word for word because I don't want to backtrack. I said, I'm sick and tired of the pettiness of Marcus Stroman and his irrational hate for Aaron Sanchez. The guy pitches his guts out, nearly throwing a no-hitter, and he doesn't mention it once. He praises all of his teammates for small victory, and that's great. So when I'm referencing that, I'm saying, like, when Steve Pearce hits a towering shot, he mentions that in a garbage time in the game. Just petty things, but when Sanchez is dealing, he doesn't get any mention for it. But this is all out of ignorance for Aaron Sanchez. Is the dumbest thing I've ever seen. This childish stuff that happens that makes you realize that Stroman can't be a leader in the clubhouse. Sanchez is the ace of the staff, whether Marcus likes it or not. He'll be that way until one of them leaves. If Marcus' pettiness factors into us not keeping Aaron around for a long time, it's something that needs to be addressed. A guy can pick the agent he wants. Who cares? So just to elaborate on that a bit, I guess the report on why they don't talk anymore is because Aaron Sanchez went to Scott Boras, the super agent. Granted, he's kind of got a bad reputation for some people, but it's really none of Marcus's business at all. Who cares who represents him? And just because he's not selling himself out like he may think it is, and it just kind of makes me mad because when a guy is pitching the way Aaron is, and he's dealing right now, like he's actually pitching very well for what. I mean, he missed most of the year last year, so you can't really blame the guy for going out there and dealing every day. A lot more than what Stroman has done, and it just kind of bothers me that there's no real talk about him. And it separates the clubhouse, right? It just makes everyone kind of pick a side, and then that's not what you need in a team. And I don't want to call Stroman a cancer in the dressing room or anything, but I mean it could be getting to that point where if you're picking and choosing favorite teammates and making them on pedestals that they don't need to be on, I think that gets in the way of the team sport that it is. But yeah, that's my thoughts on that situation. So.
Completely jumping off that. I just want to say about Robert Osuna becoming the youngest player to hit 100 saves, was it?
Yep.
That's incredible. I've seen Osuna pitch in person, and it's electrifying. The fans absolutely love him. I absolutely love him, and just a congrats to him on that achievement. That's something to be proud of for sure.
It's something I think we need to keep our eye on a little bit too, because 100 saves isn't anything to shake your hat at. Like, that's a lot of saves. And to do it by the age of 22, like, if he keeps it up, and let's just pretend for a second.
We'll go on the low side and say he gets 30 saves a year.
Yeah, and let's he's gonna be a closer for a long time, because there's no reason that he won't be. Like, a team, say he's on the Jays, another team's gonna see that he saved 40 games and 35 games at the 20 and 21. There's gonna be teams using him as a closer. The all-time record is 652. Mariano Rivera. I don't see him, and this is maybe a hot take, I don't see him not getting that record.
Wow, that's really bold. That's bold. I agree with it. I think if you look up the numbers, it's pretty straightforward. If he can put up 30, maybe 40 saves a year, he'll probably surpass it by the end of his career. But I'd love to see it, because there's no other player I'd rather see get that.
Let's say he gets 40 this year. Let's just pretend. Let's say he gets 35 this year. He'll be in the top 100 in league history.
As long as he doesn't end up like K-Rod, I'm completely fine with it.
And K-Rod is sitting in 4th place on the all-time list.
Well, that'll happen in about 5 years.
Yeah, he could potentially, let's say he gets 30 saves a year.
Where's Chapman on that list?
Aroldis Chapman?
Yeah. I'm interested.
Aroldis Chapman is 46th. He has 206 career saves. He's played 9 years.
That's not good.
That's pretty good, granted the situations he's been in. I don't know. I think he could do it. I can see it. I can see some 50 save seasons in his career. Whether that's here or wherever.
Doesn't he already have a 50 save season?
He has a 39 save season. So he's not far off. And as long as the team stays decent that he's on, and he can get himself some saves, I think he puts himself in a pretty good position to be up in that area and potentially a Hall of Famer if he gets in the 500 save zone.
Yeah. I don't think that's unrealistic, to be honest with you.
He's 22 years old. He's got 15 years left in the majors.
Or more.
Or more. But I'm just saying 15 years of good baseball.
Well, how long did Rivera go for? To lose 43?
Yep. Played 19 years.
Yeah. I don't think that's unrealistic. And that's not even me being a homer. That's not even me being a homer. That's just
being realistic.
Yeah.
It's being smart. And I think it's pretty cool to be able to say that you were alive for a guy that does that.
Unless there's like a career-ending injury or something like that, knock on this drywall here.
He had 44. Mariano Rivera had 44 saves at the age of 43. That's crazy.
And he only had one pitch.
He had a cutter, and he didn't even need to throw it.
Nope. All he needed was that slider.
Yeah, the one time he threw his cutter. He was pitching warm up in like his 5th season, and all of a sudden he realized that his fastball that he was throwing was tailing to the left, and he could not understand why. He didn't have any idea why that was happening, and he found out that that's just what happened. So he just went
natural.
With it. Do we have any other things? Anything else? That's pretty much it. Eh?
That's all the segments we got too. Usually,
Matt, you got any?
Usually we have to make up segments.
Statements?
Sorry, can you re-say that? You cut in and out there.
Sorry, I said, do you have any other statements about anything?
Closing statements?
Drew Doughty and Corey Perry can have fun golfing.
So next week's episode, with it being NFL Draft Week, Matt's just finding about this now. We're gonna do a first round mock draft.
I'm doing a top 10. I can't do all.
Darren's
30.
doing a top 10. I'm gonna do a 32.
I'll do a 32.
And Matt's gonna do a 32. The draft is the next week, so as in this coming week. So I want to get a mock draft out, see if we're right, see if we're wrong. It's football season, baby. It's not really, but...
when I do NHL mock drafts, even I only get 10% right, so this is going to be great.
Oh, yeah. No, I pay attention a little more this year than I have in years past. But then we'll be getting into...
More NHL
stuff with the draft coming up and stuff too. Not World Juniors. We're under 18s around right now. Tune into that.
16-year-old scored an amazing goal. Alex Lafournier.
Yeah, he's going to be really good in the 2020 draft. But yeah, that's pretty much
2020 draft is also stacked, might I add, looking ahead.
So yeah, if you guys have any questions for next week, it's going to be NFL draft stuff. So we'll try to focus on that, but it'll take some time to go through that mock draft. So we'll also talk some playoffs as well. But.
Depending on location next week too, where the podcast is recorded, Nick Campbell might make a second appearance on the podcast.
Yay!
To mention that to
He's not gonna like us much after this podcast since we had a segment basically telling him to screw off.
So he can tune into he can take part in the NHL part. I don't know if he does NFL stuff, but
no,
probably not. So. All right, well,
if we do it down in my neck of the woods next week, there's also a couple guests that we could have on too to get the fans fired up. So
sounds good. We also got some news on some partnership stuff that'll come in next week, but we'll keep you up on that, and it's going to benefit you guys too. So it's not just for us, but it's going to benefit our fans as well. So if you like tickets to games, we've got an interest for you. All right, well. That's it from us here at Locker Talk Podcast.
Please not calling you that stupid name again.
The Locky Talkies. We thank you very much.
Please stop.
Stop the Locky Talkies. Have a good time, guys. Hopefully you can hear me.
Good night, guys.